Hey, welcome back to Given Chances Farm. Today I'm just out here in the garden doing a little bit of weeding and taking some of the pepper plants that I've had left over and replacing and putting them in the holes that either something's ate them or they just end up dying for whatever reason. So right now I'm just planting, I think it's the California Wonders that's in this little thing. Let me look at the, yeah. And I didn't go and put labels on the plants. I just put tomato cages to let me know that there was a pepper plant there. So I have no idea what was ate or whatever the case may be. But here, I'll show you this one right here. You can see that the leaves on it has been chewed on by whatever, it be a bug or whatnot. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be putting one of these pepper plants in its spot of the ones that have been either chewed on or totally wiped out. Basically, all I did was, you can't see, all I did was I took it out of the bucket, like a handful of it, and then put it in the dirt, and I'll put a little bit of the mulch back around it. That way it helps hold the moisture in and it don't dry out. And another reason why I decided to do it right now is, if you can see the sky in the background, it has been raining for well, we've had rain in the forecast for the last couple of days, and we're supposed to have rain for like 8 days straight, but for some reason we didn't hardly get any rain yesterday, but it decided to do it today. So I decided to come out here. The sun's hidden, it stopped raining for the little bit, and I figured the ground was still nice and wet from the rain, and it would make it a little easier to bring these pepper plants out here and transplant them in without doing too much damage. So I will find another spot of where this other one can go, and I will be just surprised when it starts bearing fruit on it, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's the jalapeno pepper that I planted, or the bell pepper, the green one or the red one, and I think I even have like maybe a yellow one if I remember right. And then there's also a couple plants that I bought at the farmer's market from one of the ladies there. So we'll see what we have. And then all the tomato plants on the trellis, some of them are doing okay and some of them not so hot. But the ones that I have over here on this other side of the fence, they need all weeded, but it's been a little hard, like I said, with the rain and all that stuff. It helped the weeds grow and the plants in the garden, but it didn't help that I couldn't get out here and kind of weed them out. So I'll go over here and transplant this other one that's in this spot. And I think there's 2 more like jalapeno pepper plants that's in the backyard in one of the seed trays that I started them in. Or not seed trays. I transplanted them into a bigger, like a flower pot. So there's 2 of them in there. That way they'd give room to grow before I had to transplant them. Or if I didn't transplant them, then maybe they could take off in that. But then, so like I said, I'll just get back to doing this and I'll bring you along with me. Let me just get all my tools. Oh, and then also, I'm going to try and plant some more zinnias and some marigolds to help. Marigolds is really good for the bugs, keeping the bugs out of the way. And of course, you know, they're pretty too when they grow. Okay, got that down to the dirt. Seen some good worms down there, so that means it's getting what it needs. And like I said, I just grab a handful of it and put it there, so I'm really not disturbing it. It's kind of like a soil block when you do those, so you're not disturbing the roots. And I'll just go and put some more of the mulch around. Doing this mulch in the garden was a trial, so it's kind of similar to like the back to eating planting, and I wasn't for sure whether it would be too much mulch because Tony was the one that laid the mulch down with the tractor, and in some spots it's a little thicker than I wanted it, but we'll see how it goes. So there is another one right there that I could go and get jalapeno pepper and transplant it. But for now, I think that's all I'm gonna do. And then I may take some of this dirt or leftover dirt and I may sprinkle it on some of the smaller tomato plants that I have out here. And then I'll do that, and then I'll take you and show you the rest of the stuff in the garden and how it's growing. Alright, now I'm just gonna come back here in the back and plant some zinnias, and then I'm not for sure exactly where, but somewhere I'm gonna plant some marigolds. So these are the giant double violet queen, so they're purple. And I'm just gonna plant them back here. Let's see if we can get some to sprout. Cover them back up. And that will be it. I did a little bit of weeding also. So hopefully I can remember this area. Worst case, I have the video, but this area will be some. And over here, these are some volunteer sunflowers that came up. So I don't remember what color they will be or which ones they are, because last year I planted quite a bit of sunflowers on this back part of the garden. So it'll be another surprise. I think all this year will be another surprise, except for I know what tomato plants I planted and where. Okay. So right here by the sunflowers, I'm going to plant the lavender gem zinnias. A couple more seeds in there, just to be on the safe side. And I don't know if I'll plant the get the crumbled up a little better. Maybe I'll plant the marigolds up in the front. Alright, so over here, these are some more of the volunteer sunflowers. So with this one, I didn't notice it before, but when I turned around to plant some more, I put some zinnias, or not zinnias, but some marigolds over here. I noticed that this sunflower had bloomed. So these are very similar to the ones that was over there. So hopefully they'll be the same color. I was kind of hoping some of the maroon color ones was going to come back, but so far none of them have. It looks like here is another sunflower that is starting to sprout, and then there's one back there, and then this one will be soon to be blooming, and then that one will be soon to bloom. So, and then I'm pretty sure I planted some zinnias. These are all zinnias that are sprouting. I put the marigolds right there, this plant, and then these over here are left over that sprouted back from last year. I think it was just a like wildflower seed packet that I had and I just planted. So those are pretty. My mom would love those since they're a yellow color, since yellow is her favorite. So I gotta figure out if I will have room up in the front, because I have, I'll just take you along. I have like all down this side of the cattle panel is my Romas, and then the other side is the they're similar to like a big boy, but I can't remember. I think they're called Brandywine is what they are. Yeah, Brandywine. So then that was some more of my pepper plants, but these two look like they need to be traded out. All those over there are not tomato, but pepper plants. And then over on this side are more tomato plants. I think these are all the Brandywines. Sorry, had something on my face. So this one's already starting. It's showing blooms. And don't mind the weeds. Didn't get to all the weeding. Just started to sprinkle a little bit. And I just couldn't finish. Plus it's getting muggy out here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tomato plants over here. And then my pepper plants. And then we have in the buckets 3 buckets of cucumbers, garlic and onions, and the salad mix, lettuce. And then those 2 orange buckets are supposed to have beans in it. One is a pinto bean, and the other one is a red Mexican bean. And then these are just volunteer wherever the girls had dropped, picking them off of the cattle panels. When they dried out, wherever the seeds fell, that's where they ended up. So we got some volunteers out there. These are my Black Beauty zucchinis that I planted. I had 4 here, 2 was in this one, and something like that. 2 was in one of them, so there was a total of 4. I tried transplanting it somewhere, it died. And then in the meantime, the other one that was in there also died, so I planted another seed, so that one's just a little bit behind the other 2, which is fine. Then they won't all be growing zucchinis at the same time. And then you've already seen here, and the strawberries with this rain are slowly coming back. I transplanted the rhubarb. It was over little up farther than what this is, but my mom suggested that they like rain, so I stuck it underneath the corner of the roof of the shed to get as much rain as it could. And then the strawberries, and as you can see, let me pull some of the green back, they're still producing red strawberries even in this heat, so that's a good thing. We like fresh strawberries here. So I think I'm gonna end this and go back inside, get out of the humid air, and hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for any upcoming videos to be notified for, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a nice day.